I think we need to start with the roadmap for an upset. The Dodgers are favored. How do the Blue Jays figure out a way to win a series against a team that has 4 number 1 starters and just dusted the top record in the sport? It was not a good series. It was an entertaining series on an individual game-by-game basis. But, Todd Father, if you're on the Blue Jays, how do you crack the Dodgers pitching staff?
Well, I think you got to think of it another way. How do you keep putting pressure pitching-wise? I think it's going to come down to the Blue Jays pitching. They got to find a way to stop these guys from scoring. I think that's the way you got to go about it. The Dodgers put up a lot of runs, and guess what? They find ways to put pressure on teams. I think the Blue Jays staff is the number one thing they got to do because they can hit. We know they can eventually hit. They've done it before, and they play well in close games. So if they can find a way, their pitching staff, to keep them at bay, 3, 4, 5 runs going into the 7th, 8th inning, I think they'll have a chance. And I think that's the biggest thing they have to worry about is keeping those batters at bay. And if they can do that, we know that eventually those bats are gonna come alive. But it's got to be right from Jump Street. And again, whoever they start in the beginning, they got to ride that wave a little bit and keep going. So if they can keep the hitters at bay, they're going to be all right, in my opinion.
We're showing some of the starters for the Dodgers, like Yamamoto and Glasnow right now. Toronto makes contact. So did the Brewers.
So did the
Brewers,
that didn't
crap.
Work.
But Toronto's got a lot more slug and star power in there with guys like Springer and Vladdy. And even here, I'll bring up a good example because he's been my favorite to watch at the plate. Ernie Clement has a 4% K rate in the postseason, and his slugging percentage is 6-something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the kind of guy that needs to keep doing what he's doing. I mean, he's tough to strike out, and he'll rack doubles for you.
Here's how the Blue Jays win this series. They survive against the starting pitchers of the Dodgers, and their starters match, and then they get into the bullpen. Because, yes, Roki and Vesia, but if they can get some of these guys out early and make them get to some of the other guys that haven't been as good, that's their shot. Because if you're just going to let Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, and Shohei go 6-7 innings, you're going to be in trouble. Because that means, 1, they're doing well, you're not hitting. And 2, that means Dave Roberts can just use Vesia and Sasaki a lot in the bullpen, try to figure it out from there. So I think the key to this is how well do the Blue Jays starters match the Dodgers starters, right? Because I feel like both teams are going to score some runs.
Yep.
And I feel like both bullpens will have some hits and some misses. But if the Blue Jays starters can match the Dodgers starters, give them a chance. And if they can knock them out every once in a while early, that's their shot. Then you get the Sheehan's and you get some other guys that just aren't as not as good, but as, I don't know, good in the bullpen, right? I don't know. That to me seems like the key.
Okay, so if you're the Blue Jays, how do you prevent the Dodgers starters from going so deep into games?
Foul off a bunch of pitches, don't strike out a lot. But don't also have first pitch out. See, they do that too.
That's my question.
They do that too.
They attack early. They're a swinging team. The Brewers aren't, actually. The Brewers are a contact team, but what made them unique this season was that they don't chase. They were one of the best walks, chase rate, whatever. Throw it all out the window for the last series. All of that was gone. They were swinging, chasing, at great secondary stuff. But how did the Blue Jays do this? Because often, like, what was the one game where they really got, say, it was a game 3, everything they were doing was within the first 3 pitches. So it works great if the ball's falling in the right spot. If not, I mean, you might look up and be like, damn, even Glasnow's at 50 pitches through 5 innings. What do? You just hope that the ball falls in the right spots?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know what you do. I think it's going to be a tough series for the Blue Jays. I do. I think the Dodgers are just a better team 1 through 26, and that's the problem that every team has run into with the Dodgers. That's why I've had them number 1 on my power rankings since day 1, Claudia. But I think they can get a couple games, though. I think that if they can get it, if they win game 1 and put some pressure on the Dodgers and go to LA and maybe steal one here and there and get it back to Toronto like they did for 6 and 7, this crowd's going to go crazy. So that's kind of how you have to do it. You have to strike early, steal a game somehow. Someone hits a home run late, or the Dodgers make an error or something, and they steal a game, maybe steal a base or 2. I think one thing that the Jays can do, and they don't do a ton of this, is they can run on the Dodgers. I feel like Glasnow, Snell, you can run a little bit, and especially on their Sasaki comes in, you get guys on, you can run. So I don't know.
Todd Father, the really famous like headliner coaching wise for the Blue Jays is actually their hitting coach this year. Now, John Schneider's done a really nice job, and he keeps gaining experience, but they love Dave Popkins. I mean, even casual fans know who he is, and he was pushed away by the Twins, right? Twins let him go. He's there. Blue Jays players have talked him up a ton. Like I heard one quote from, I think it was Varsho this series, who said, let me give you the difference. In the past, the way our hitting instruction and coaching staff was set up, if I had to make a mechanical tweak, it would take me weeks, if not months, to get back on track. Now it's days, and that he lets everybody be themselves. So with all of that being said, if you're a Blue Jays hitter and he says, hey, be yourself, if you're a swinger, you're not going to be like, okay, well, I want to get deep into account every AB against this starter because we want to get him out of the game and get to the bullpen, right? You're going to keep just playing the way that you play.
Yeah, and if that's being ready first pitch for a pitch you're looking for, it's ready to attack. And I think that's a great concept. I've had coaches like that. We're not going to tinker with anything really. Maybe something in your mindset, what you're looking for. Are you looking out over? Are you looking in? What types of pitches you're looking for? You don't necessarily need to tinker with somebody's stance all the time and footing and everything else. You need to get in their mindset. And I think that's one of the biggest parts that people need to understand. Like you're getting lessons from somebody. You don't need to revamp or change anything. You need to change their mindset of thinking, do what you do best. Let's figure out what you do best as a hitter. And whatever is the stuff that you can't do best at, let's lay off of that until 2 strikes. Be you, go out there, and that's what got us there for the Toronto Blue Jays. Be you, and let's focus on what's got us there and go out there and win a championship.
Okay, so I feel like we've at least painted somewhat of a roadmap for the Blue Jays. What about for the Dodgers? I mean,
just be the Dodgers.
Just be the Dodgers. Just do exactly what you've been doing to a T.
Go out and play.
Is there a weakness to exploit?
Blue Jays, the bullpen. It's the bullpen.
John Schneider might do it differently this round. I think he should.
Well, he's going to have to use lefties.
Use lefties, but I also think that you need to get more creative with. I mean, I know I talked about this on the postgame show last night. Like Bassett, maybe Gausman pitches an inning or 2 on a throw day. You think that's doing too much?
No.
Like
he's going to have to use as a full roster.
Gausman's going game 1 or 2, right? It's either Gausman or you're Savage. I got to look at what how many days it's been, but probably is Savage, right? Because Gausman.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Gausman it was a throw day. Well, he's got 3 days, so he's got plenty of time.
Yeah, but my point is, and Savage you might look at a little bit differently, but Gausman's veteran guy and on a long-term deal and knows how to take care of himself. He's been in the league for a minute. I do think he pitches game 1 or 2 in between that and his next start. He could give you an inning or 2. I know it wasn't beautiful last night, right? He got himself in a little bit of trouble, but if that's what it takes because you don't have confidence in some of the other guys, like I'm okay with that. If the splitter is the equalizer against the Dodgers in a certain pocket of the lineup and it's his throw day when they said he throws 30 plus pitches on his throw day, give me an inning. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be the first time. This has been done often. Top father, Patrick Corbin for the 2019 Nats. When did the Red Sox win? 2018. It was Porcello. It was 3 of them that we all saw, right? Mm-hmm. That were coming out of the bullpen on throw days. And people were like, oh, Alex Cora, brilliant, whatever. It's like, yeah, veteran guys on their throw day are giving you an inning, and they were fine.
I think it all matters of where they are in the series. If they're down, yeah, of course. If they're doing well, I don't necessarily think you should bring them in. You should save them for the opportunity to come in either game 5 or game 6. What might have you there? So I think, yes, I love that decision. I think that's great. If you're down 2-0, there's no holds bars. You're going out and doing whatever you think you can to find a way to win.
Okay. And I'm with you on the home field part. I mean,
Dodgers went 2-1 against them. Snell dealt against them this year already. Kershaw beat Scherzer in that game, the famous game from this year. And the third game, the Blue Jays beat the Dodgers late.
Okay. The Snell one makes sense. The Scherzer-Kershaw one, I mean, Kershaw's probably not going to be much of a factor. And Max is a different Max. If you see that Max can work for 4 or 5 innings, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need just one of those as your bridge, as your pivot later in the series to get through the back end of the rotation and win a game 4. You are relying on some experience there. That's actually a big part of this is Max and Bieber. What are you going to get?
Bieber needs to have the good stuff, not the stuff he had last night, though. That stuff he had last night, it wasn't good.
Yeah, that's not going to work against the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen 2 bad and 1 good from Bieber. I don't
Every
know
other
if
one.
Is there any way to, like, it's just an inconsistency thing when you're coming off surgery? Like, does extra rest
pitchers
help?
keep talking about it, I guess.
Extra rest, does that make any difference?
He's going to get a lot of rest.
Right, he's going to have
8 or 9 days.
Yeah, over a week.
He starts game 3. What do he pitch? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So he's going to have a week.
Yeah, that's next Monday.
Yeah.
I think that's probably good.
Okay.
I don't know, but
I'm fascinated by how Savage does against the Dodgers. I haven't seen him. You know, the Mariners actually handled him pretty well.
First start, they really handled him well.
So
he also didn't have his good splitter in that first start.
Yeah.
It's a field pitch, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be fascinating with his angle, and they've never seen it. I don't know. We'll see how it does.
Dodgers are really good at laying off pitches.
Dodgers are really good. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Dodgers get strikeouts. Blue Jays don't strike out. A lot of interesting matchups in this series. A lot of blue, too. If you like blue, this is your series.
That's true. Here's the one thing I will say. For those that are putting out, oh, the Blue Jays can rescue baseball. Shut up. That is way too much. Oh, if the Dodgers win again, like
the Blue Jays have a top 10 payroll in baseball.
Stop it. That is ridiculous.
We should ask Kurt Hogue about that.
The Dodgers payroll is like 400-ish, and the Blue Jays payroll is like 280 or something.
Yeah.
Like, stop. First of all, yeah, they're 2 teams that definitely spend Todd Father. But let's not act like if the Dodgers win back-to-back World Series titles, the sport is broken forever. It's just it felt this way last year with Yankees and Dodgers. It's like we never get a matchup like that, and we can't just enjoy it one time. We never get a matchup like that. And everyone's like, oh, this is just like the 2 big teams. Okay. It never happens. And those teams haven't won that much over the past, few decades, right? The Yankees dynasty is a long time ago at this point.
Yeah, and if you're a president or GM or one of those guys and the Dodgers do win, it's like, okay, maybe I need to start spending a little more to get my team going and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. They had an opportunity to get guys, and guys said, you know what? If you're going to pay me, I'm coming over. I like my opportunities here. The end goal as a baseball player, number 1 is to win the World Series. And number 2 is to provide for your family, of course. But you want to, I mean, you can flip-flop that too as well. I mean, family always comes first. But as a baseball guy, when you're playing, you want to win a World Series and you want to take care of your family. So they both kind of go together. So, yeah, if you're going to pay me, that's great. I can provide for my family and have the best opportunity to win a World Series. So why doesn't every president try and do that? We don't know that answer. So it's just part of baseball. And if the Dodgers win, I think it's fine for baseball too. If you don't like it, play better. That old adage. That's all, or get better players.
Yeah. Freddie Freeman has been incredible for them during his Dodgers tenure. He's not a $500 million player. He's a player anybody could have signed. Mookie, anyone could have traded for initially, first of all. The Red Sox also are a big, big, big market, and they somehow felt like he wasn't worthy
Muncy was a cast-off.
Muncy was a cast-off.
Will Smith, they signed.
Yeah.
Anyone could have had Kike.
Yep.
Teoscar was signed a 1-year deal last year. Andy Pajas was an international free agent. Miguel Rojas was, is not making a lot.
Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates, which everyone was freaking out about towards the end of last offseason, complete non-factors, right? I'm not going to act like they don't have resources, but they're doing it smarter than everyone else. It's not just the resources. There are other teams.
They traded for Glasnow. Obviously, they were able to sign him, but they traded for him.
Yes. Mets have spent almost as much as them.
Mm-hmm.
They did not participate in the 2025 postseason. So anyway, I don't think it ruins baseball. That is way too much. Sorry that you're catching a dynasty, and Shohei Ohtani is also the best player of all time, and he's playing like it right now. Anyway, thoughts that you have for us, we'll focus in on a game-by-game perspective when we get closer to game 1. And shout out to MLB Perfect Inning 25. QR code is on the screen. It's a free game. You can download it on your phone. the MLB Hank Aaron Award winner of the past and Home Run Derby champion of the past, on the cover this year. Big Giancarlo Stanton, who had the massive postseason last year, experienced the unique thrill of the real-time PvP baseball game in MLB Perfect Inning 25. Here's a little peek